welcome to episode. I actually don't
170.
know what episode. 167 of Checkpoint Chat. Am
No.
I right? Am I right?
Think about it. It was last week was the NAS episode. 100 and
Oh
NAS.
God, 170. Wow, I was well off.
You
You know,
so way
Windows
off
Windows betrayed me because I'm looking at my quick access folders and sorry, I wasn't going in chronological order. I see 169 here. Okay, episode
there. This is the learning to
170.
count episode. Let me start you off real easy. 1,
Oh,
2.
I think I know what comes next. 3.
167. Wow.
170.
How did this happen?
Episode 170 of Checkpoint Chat. My name is Alessandro Barbosa. I'm joined by Matthew Figuera.
170
Can
at
you
7 a.m. in the morning. Coincidence?
Yeah.
I think not. We all about tying things together here thematically. So, yeah.
So then, do we just get progressively later and later with the starts from here?
Oh God, yeah. Next week will be 7:10. Next week after that 7:20. And then
So when
hit
we get to
100.
200, it's 8 p.m. at night.
No, when we get to 200, yeah, it's 8 p.m. and then 201, we start at midnight again. There we go.
Oh dear God, no, no.
It's easy.
I'm fine. Start. What do you mean again? We've never recorded an episode anywhere close to midnight.
Of course we have. No one needs to know. They don't know.
I think the latest we've recorded one was like 7 p.m. one evening.
Yeah.
Like during the week after.
And it
work,
wasn't even
which was-
that long ago. It's a
That's
couple of
actually
weeks
true.
ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. Yeah,
My
we're
goodness.
recording early on the Saturday morning because weekends are no longer for resting. They are for activities that you are forced to go to, and so the things you want to do have to be pushed to the outskirts of the weekend. And
The crack
it
of
sucks.
dawn.
I hate it. I hate
No,
it. So
this is
much.
why you started the episode with a whisper. You're like, hello.
Yeah, I have to keep quiet. People are still sleeping
welcome
around
to
me.
episode 167. Shit, I can't count. 170.
Wow, rude. So rude. I might just leave right now, actually.
Sure, the shortest
Just being
episode.
fucking lambasted by my co-host here.
Nice.
Unreal.
You love to see it. It's the best. thing.
No, you don't. You
I
absolutely
love
do
to
not
see
love
it.
to see it.
I love to see it.
Do you
My
know what you
goodness.
love to see? I
Video games.
was messing. Well, yes, I was messing around with this generative art thing
Oh yes,
yesterday.
love to see it.
Let me find the name.
Love to
of
see
it
most of it. Some of it, I'm like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's some of it's so it's called app.wombo, WOMBO.art. And it's like a generative, AI art thing. So you can type in a prompt and then choose an art style and it does stuff. And I found it
There you
worked
go.
pretty
I can show the
well.
video viewers. Let's go. Where's your tweet here?
I found it worked pretty well with video games. So I just plopped in Bloodborne and chose 4 different styles, and boy, it
I mean, look at that.
pretty cool. Pretty
Audio
fucking
listeners,
cool.
the segment is not for you. Sorry, but we'll describe it. It's just cool looking Bloodborne art generated by an AI.
I mean, right now I just typed in The Legend of Zelda and it was pretty great as well.
Amazing.
So yeah, so I mentioned this at the office and
Look at this.
single-handedly destroyed productivity on a Friday for
all
everyone.
with one sentence. What is it called?
It was pretty cool though. I had a colleague who was like, he would type something in and then you'd show me and you'd be like, what game is this? And like 9 times out of 10, you'd be able
you
to
could
get
guess
it.
it.
Yeah, like he did a Hollow Knight one. He
Okay.
did.
We're doing checkpoint chat in
Oh my
pick a
goodness.
style. What style are we doing here?
Vibrant. Let's go.
Vibrant, cool.
Vibrant, I find, gives the best,
Okay, I don't think this
best
is.
results.
I don't think
but
we've got
boy.
nearly enough internet cloud to get anything good. But hey, let's
No,
see.
probably not. Probably not. I mean, it was really funny. Some people, what the fuck is that? I have no idea what's going on there.
I need to get in here. Oh, I've got to zoom in on this. What's going on here?
So some people were like putting in their names and seeing the results. It was quite fascinating. I'm not entirely sure what's going on in this Checkpoint Chat video. It does look like an arcade.
Yeah,
So-
is this? It looks like these are potentially. Oh no, yeah, you're right. Maybe this is an arcade. This to me
Yeah.
looks like somebody, like a spaceman, looking at a laptop or computer.
Yeah.
My goodness. Okay.
I mean,
Cool.
I'm pretty sure whatever model this AI is built on is like a bunch of like SEO Google searches, and it's not
Yeah.
doing it in real time. So it's like obviously whatever it was trained on at the time is what it has. But yeah, famous people and names of games worked extremely well in this tool. They were just, I love this sort of thing. Like people find it scary. I don't find it scary. To me, this
It's
is
fascinating.
technology as art because it is. I mean, people think you just plug in numbers and this shit just happens. No, this is a form of art using programming. It is pretty impressive. That looks like a scene from the Jetsons.
Yeah, I don't know what checkpoint chats is going on here, but it's
my goodness.
So
it's such a cool tool.
If you guys want to try it, it is cool. It's just app.wombo.art.
I think they have apps on your phone as well.
And it's
like
it's quite
just
literally
this toy.
You just
like
give it a prompt
there.
And you choose a art style and it just generates for you. And the results are most of the time you can be like, well, like you said, if you put in a term or something that is pretty well known on Google, you're going to get an interesting result. Whereas
you're going to get a hit.
With us, it's like, what the hell's going on here? Okay, let's
we did steampunk Nelson Mandela yesterday. Worked pretty well.
Oh, that's cool. That's
yeah.
Oh, steampunk.
And all of these styles are pretty rad. So,
my goodness, what is going on here?
It's kind of cool.
This is just we're creating a steampunk checkpoint chats, and we have what?
I mean, that looks like a steampunk bar. I'd
I was just gonna say this is a bar. That's pretty cool.
Steampunk bar. It's pretty dope. I mean, these are things like if it was spitting out these images at bigger resolutions, these are things that I'd like get printed out because some of the shit it spits out is incredible.
Very cool. It's
really, really cool.
Completely unusual.
So, yeah, it's quite unusual, but it's like abstract enough, but also you can see, you can see what the reference was.
Yeah. Well, if you got the right reference, if you've got a thing that's very recognizable. Sure.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
So it's things we do when we go into December and you need things to distract you. Who am I kidding? Work's been crazy.
Yeah, my God. I mean, are you also feeling like
my batteries are so low?
Yeah, exactly. That's the perfect way to put it. It's just like even if you're getting lots of sleep, you're getting your work is maybe not as intense as it used to be. You still feel completely drained.
It's just end of the year stuff. I'm feeling weak. So I don't know how else to put it. I just wanna have a break now.
Yeah, so that's what it is. It's just like you actually need the 2 or 3 weeks off just to completely disconnect and recharge, and then tackle the next year and do it again and again and again until you die.
Rinse and repeat for eternity. Cool, man. That's a nice thought.
Depression on a Saturday. That's what this podcast is about.
Served bright and early as well. You're welcome.
You're just that hamster on the wheel, man. Pink Floyd was right. You're just another brick in the wall.
A brick in the wall. Which, yeah. What can I say?
But
water.
This week, water. This week is the sort of like start of, the big end of year vibes events. You'll start seeing websites throwing out their game of the year stuff. You've got your last big release this week in Halo Infinite. And of course you have Geoff Keighley's Video Game Awards. I mean, that's how you say it. It's not Jeff. Jeff is Jeff.
Geoff Keighley.
This is Geoff. We worked with Geoffrey Tim. So we know exactly how to say the name.
Mm-hmm. And
I love that I can give him shit here and he'll never know because he doesn't listen.
So, what a guy.
But yeah, Geoff, good guy.
Yeah, Geoff
Keighley, also a good guy.
Yeah, both good. Geoff's good guys. Geoff Keighley doing his thing, putting together another game awards show. And I suppose as is tradition now, we are going to give our predictions on who we think will win most of these awards. Not the esports ones because we don't watch nearly enough.
Not give a shit.
We don't.
Sorry.
But,
didn't watch enough. Yes.
I mean, we don't watch enough, but also don't really care about those awards.
No,
but,
not at all. It'd be like best esports game. I'm just like
best esports event. Let me see. Let's just get a little taste here. Best esports
athlete. I don't recognize a single one. Yeah, exactly. I'll just vote the international.
No, because that's where my experience lies.
Best esports team spirit, because they were amazing in the international.
My goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some serious multitasking here because I'm gonna be not only taking us through all these categories, but I'm gonna be jotting down our predictions so that
don't you want to send me that list and I'll do that.
It's on our sheet.
I will alleviate. I will alleviate some of your duties.
Go right on.
There we go.
On news. Okay. There you go. I've even written them all out. What a champ!
Got it.
Yes. What a producer. Put me up for Best Producer of the Year award.
Up there. I mean, that's why there's no category, because it would just be 5 pictures of you just strewn around. And it would be very hard even then to choose the best photo of you, for Best Producer.
Yeah.
But okay, so
Joe, just quickly, this episode is just, well, we're going to see how we go in time, but we're not doing any game chats of what we've been playing or anything, because historically speaking, when we do predictions, it takes a long time. We get into the nitty gritty. We speak nonsense. We speak serious stuff. We're like, yeah, this game's going to win because of X, Y, Z. But yeah, it's mostly Game Award stuff, maybe gaming news, and then your questions. So yeah. That's it.
Should we do a very quick rundown of the categories we're going to go through?
Sweet.
So, most anticipated game, best debut indie, best multiplayer, best sports/racing, best sim/strategy, best family, best fighting, best role-playing, best action-adventure, best action, best VR/AR. I don't think I've played an AR game this year, but innovation and accessibility, best community support, best mobile game, best indie, best ongoing, games for impact, best performance. I was like best best 60 FPS? What? My brain just best audio design, best score and music, best art direction, best narrative, best game direction, and then game of the year.
Game of the year. Sponsored by Monster Energy. No, I'm kidding.
And if you don't hear world premiere, like in between each and every one of those on Thursday during the event,
there's
I will eat my hat.
Wow, you're not even wearing a hat. That's a false promise.
Exactly.
There was, when Jeff Keighley announced all the nominees a few weeks ago, I can't remember what category it was, but there was one that was like brought to you by, and plug sponsor. I just thought it was so funny.
I mean, even I don't know if this is specific to most anticipated, but on the website here it says presented by Prime Gaming.
Prime Gaming.
I mean, did you watch the event? It was a couple of years ago where he had I think it was sponsored by Schick, the razors.
Chic.
Yeah. And they had a fucking dude in a human-sized shaving razor costume there, Schick man, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Listen, it doesn't matter. Okay, we've got to keep the money flowing to keep the show going.
We've got to get Schick man and Joseph Fares as a pairing for a announcement.
My goodness.
The fuck Oscars guy and then a man who is a life-size razor.
The actual razor. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh my God.
Okay, should we kick it off with this?
Let us kick it off.
So actually a pretty good award.
Just to be clear, for each of these categories, we are predicting what we think will win, not necessarily what we want to win. We're trying to game the Game Awards here because there is a certain predictability to them. Even through the nominees, you can kind of glean what's going on. I mean, let's get this out of the way. Chicory was only nominated for one thing.
One award.
That is a fucking crime.
Very sad.
It's an affront to humanity. So yeah, these have become progressively predictable. And to be fair, these aren't Jeff Keighley's games of the year. The panels is comprised of games media from all over the world. but it just shows you that even as part of games media, everyone has predictable and often bad tastes.
That would be so funny though. You said it. It's not Jeff Keighley's personal picks, but imagine he came out and was like, "Listen, it's the Jeff Keighley Game Awards now. It's what I want to win."
Yeah, it's Jeff Keighley Game
Brought
Awards.
to you by Prime Gaming.
Do you see your fucking name on these Game Awards? No, that's what I thought.
My goodness.
God damn it.
Oh, so now this is a tough one though. Most anticipated game.
Most anticipated game.
Recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. We have Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West. I love this. The sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, because we don't have an actual name. And then Starfield. So this is a tough one because I actually am very keen on 4 out of these 5 games. I mean, everything
keen
except,
on like pretty much everything. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen Starfield. You know what I mean?
No,
like
same.
it's just one of those things. Like, yeah, I like the idea of it, but I haven't seen actual footage. So, yeah,
I think I'm keen on it mostly because like I won't have to pay for it. So there's a very low stakes. Like and a new IP from Bethesda that's been a while. You know what I mean?
So, but what do we think is going to win this? Because it's not what we want; it's what the public wants, what the gaming journos want. And I don't know. In my heart of hearts, I'm feeling it could be Breath of the Wild or God of War.
Really interesting.
Because I
don't think either of those.
You reckon? No, look. Personally, I'd love Elden Ring, but I still think it's a niche.
I think it is Elden Ring.
You think it's Elden Ring?
I'd be shocked if it wasn't Elden Ring. So I'm just going to write that down for me.
Okay, you put Elden Ring. I'm going to go with my guts and go Breath of the Wild here. I'm just thinking of if think of these games, their first, well, not the first entries, but how they're reviewed. I mean, God of War was Game of the Year. It's here. Breath of the Wild is Game of the Year. It's here. And I just think, yeah. Although Sekiro was also a Game of the Year winner.
Listen,
so
I just, Elden Ring and Jeff Keighley have a history. I mean, it was the reason he was in gamer jail for so long was because Elden Ring refused to be announced at his events. I think it's Elden Ring mostly because it's like it's soon. It looks, it's a new IP from software, which, funnily enough, isn't like a new thing for them. I mean, Sekiro didn't come out that long ago.
No.
Yeah, the two that I think don't really win here at all are God of War and Horizon.
You reckon?
Yeah, I just think those are two sequels to known quantities. You know what I mean? Like,
no, for sure.
I think Zelda skirts that issue because Zelda is so weird anyway. Like the sequel to Breath of the Wild, what the fuck is that? But like with Horizon and God of War, we know what those are. In a certain
if you're
capacity,
if you're gonna get into the nitty gritty, I don't think they're gonna push the gaming medium forward. They're just more of the same, which is not a bad thing, but I think I'm gonna go with the Breath of the Wild because it's Breath of the Wild. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think it could be Elden Ring or Breath of the Wild. To be honest, those would be my 2 picks. So yeah.
My goodness. Okay, next up we have the best debut indie.
Best debut indie. So this is the best debut game created by a new independent studio. And as you'll see later on in this, the definition for independent studio has become less of we are independent and more of this game has an indie vibe to it. Because like there are games that are in best indie that are like mostly Devolver Digital games, and Devolver is a publisher. So that by definition means it is not independent. So, I mean, even here, you've got Annapurna represented here. You've got Raw Fury represented here, and you've got Coffee Stain represented here. Coffee Stain is a publisher owned by THQ. Like,
I did not know that.
Like, come on. It's like...
Come on.
This game, Valheim, has 2 publishers. Like, it is not indie crazy anymore. Like, so anyway.
But what do you think is going to win it?
The only game on this list that doesn't have a publisher is Kenna Bridge of Spirits, funnily enough. Yeah. So that's interesting.
And it's interesting because that's my vote because, now hear me out. Okay. It's the only game on this list I've played. Okay. But I do...
shocker.
But I do think, like... it reviewed well, and I think people did enjoy it. So, and also as a game from a studio that is, well, an animation studio as their first game, it's just mind-boggling that this is the result.
Yeah.
It's unreal that they pulled it off.
And especially because like it was like they had hardly shown it off prior to launch. So I was really convinced that this game was going to be a big flop. And it wasn't. It was pretty good. I still need to finish it, but I enjoyed what I've played of it. Sorry. All the nominees: The Artful Escape, The Forgotten City, Kena, as she says in the game, Kena Bridge of Spirits, Sable, and Valheim. So I can tell you now that I would love The Forgotten City to win this. I would actually be torn between The Forgotten City and Sable because I think they are two extremely good games. But I think the one that will win just because of its popularity will be Valheim.
Sure. You're splitting the vote here. Stop the count.
Valheim. I could be wrong because I feel like that game had its moment and then it felt like for a moment it was going to be the next big thing and then it kind of like tapered off.
Yeah.
But I
still
know.
need to play it. It's interesting.
And also, it's like a very early 2021 game. So, the panel might have forgotten it existed, if that makes sense.
My goodness, yeah. Which is a thing, 100% a thing. So, also, what is time in COVID? People go, oh, that came out this year? Whoa, who would have thunk? Cool. We're going to skip Content Creator of the Year because I do not know.
I do not. I sadly do not know anyone on that list.
Best multiplayer for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. The nominees are Back 4 Blood, Knockout City, It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, and Valheim. I did not know that Valheim... Wait, hold up. Valheim? Oh, that's like... It's almost like an MMORPG. Is it
no, it's not. It's not MMO.
No, not an MMO, but it's an online survival.
It's cooperative. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like you can have 4 people in a server with you at a time, and you're all progressing together. Yeah.
I completely mixed that game up with Song of Iron.
Oh no, very because
I was like, damn. When you said people love Valheim, I was like, yes. In my head, I'm thinking, Song of Iron was great, but I don't remember it being like
Valheim.
Big. Yeah, Valheim. Sorry,
huge,
I had them mixed up. Valheim is big,
and if I'm not mistaken, Valheim's still in early access as well.
Yeah,
it's not even out. So yeah,
this is a tricky category though because a lot of these games. I mean, from my personal experience, I've played Back 4 Blood, It Takes Two, and Monster Hunter Rise.
It's a fucking laugh that the New World is on here.
New World is
considering how many issues that game has.
But it provides gaming memories that money can't buy a broken experience, except it can. Were you voting here?
I think the game that should win here is It Takes Two, because to me that seems like the only fairly novel and memorable multiplayer experience.
It's different. Back 4 Blood, as much as I love it, is just Left 4 Dead, and Monster Hunter Rise, as much as I love it, is just more Monster Hunter.
I do think Back 4 Blood's going to win, though.
You reckon?
Yeah, just because it's the one I assume most people have played.
I think It Takes Two is going to surprise many people this year. Although, you know what, you're right. It's one of those things where, like, It Takes Two reviewed well, but do people...
have people played it? You know what I mean?
I'm going to go with It Takes Two, I think, for this game.
I already put it down. I knew you were going there.
Sure. Just like that. Okay.
Yeah, I know the love for that game burns. Like,
it's good, man.
An eternal fire in your gut.
Best sports / racing for the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing games. Nominees are Formula 1 2021, FIFA 22, Forza Horizon 5, Hot Wheels Unleashed, and Riders Republic.
I think this is going to be a sweep pretty easily. Yeah, honestly.
If this isn't Forza, then what is life even?
I do not think this really has any space to go anywhere else, even with, I assume a lot of a lot of people on panel not really playing racing games. I think it's the one racing game on the list that most people have actually played. So
and it's worth keeping in mind that thanks to actual Game Pass and whatnot, Forza Horizon 5 is, correct me if I'm wrong, it's Microsoft's most played game or most downloaded game or something like that. It did.
I think it was the most played Horizon game.
I swear it was the most played launch game or something.
It might have been the most played like Game Pass launch game.
Yeah,
something like that.
So it's got like millions of people playing it, and it reviewed very well. So don't see that not winning. Best strategy, best game focused on real time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. That's a
strange qualifier.
This is a very weird category because, like, in my head, I immediately, okay, so let's go through the nominees. It's Age of Empires 4, Evil Genius 2, World Domination, Humankind, Inscription, and Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I have no idea why Inscription is here.
I think, but Inscription's it's a
Inscription isn't game. Even a card game. Inscription is a card game for like a portion of the game.
And then it changes. Like, I don't know. It's interesting.
It's weird because it throws me off. It's like Inscription is a brilliant game, and so many people were talking about it.
But it's not a.
But it's not a strategy game. Like, I just don't get why it's here.
Maybe because it's a card game, it's considered strategy gameplay. Like there is strategy. I don't know. I don't make these awards. But it's a weird category regardless because, like, I don't know, to have
this one and the previous one just feel like
they've just
these are two genres that don't have enough enough nominees to be individual ones. So we're just going to smush them together.
That's 100% they've done.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I almost want to, and also Microsoft Flight Simulator being here again. Like, I know it launched on console this year, but it had its time last year. It's just a weird inclusion.
You're right, actually. Yeah, it is kind of strange that it is here, but I think it probably just qualifies because it launched on Xbox, and that's literally the only reason. So,
but I hear you. I think it's weird. Inscription, very popular. A lot of people love it, but I just can't see it winning a best sim strategy in the same category with the likes of Age of Empires 4, which I'm like, that is I don't know how that reviewed, but that is an actual strategy
an actual
game.
Sim game. Yeah. It's an actual strategy game. I've already put down for me Flight Sim because I'm pretty sure that's going to
in my gut I also feel that's going to win, but I'm going to throw a curveball and go Age of Empires. YOLO.
Age of Empires.
You know what they say? You know what the Portuguese say? YOLO.
Conquer things?
How do you say YOLO in Portuguese?
You are asking very high level questions for this early in the morning.
My goodness. Okay.
I actually don't know, but now I kind of want to find out.
Now you want to know?
Yes.
Next category.
Yes.
Are you looking it up?
No. I was considering it, but no.
For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform.
Okay, before we get into the nominees, why the fuck is It Takes Two here?
Because
we had this conversation at lunch earlier this week, and I was like, to me it makes no sense because of the context of the game's story. And you were like, yeah, but you can kind of see it. And I'm like,
I think it's more the thing of like, so hear me out, okay? If you're a kid and you don't really pay attention to story stuff, which is fact for, I don't know, anyone under the age of, let's say, 9, 10, maybe younger or older.
I'd say that's
a few years.
Pretty
If you're
accurate,
playing It Takes Two just for the sake of, this is a cool game. I mean, it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the game, basically, which is very cool. And it's got co-op and it's built completely around, doing things together. I can see it being a good family game to play, wife and husband, father and son, wife and daughter, whatever combination. Even just two siblings playing it together. So I can see it being there. Do
you think there exists a case where it's like your parents come to you and they're like,
100%.
We have something to tell you. Just play this game.
Yeah, 100%. No, maybe not that specific. But I can see it being here.
Oh, God.
Sure. Nominees are It Takes Two, Mario Party Superstars, new Pokemon Snap. I cannot believe it came out this year.
Yeah, actually, I thought it came out last year. Yeah,
Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury and WarioWare.
Also a game I totally forgot came out this year. Yeah.
WarioWare is a fun game, but I feel it is weird being here. It's like they really didn't have enough games to fill out this category, so they just included it here.
Don't
get me wrong,
essentially
great
the
game,
Nintendo category, like 4 out of 5.
100%,
yeah.
I love Super Mario 3D Party and Bowser's Fury. Bowser's Fury, not really a great co-op game, but Mario 3D World, 100%. Got some 4-player co-op. That's a good time. What is Pokemon Snap that makes it multiplayer? I don't actually know.
I don't actually know either. Now that you think of it, I mean, this isn't specifically multiplayer, but it's family play.
Family, yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be co-op or something. I think Mario Party wins this category.
You think Mario Party?
It is the fucking monopoly of the digital video game world. It is the game that all families will play and then hate each other for playing. But then they'll play it again.
But I'm gonna skew the votes. I'm going Super Mario 3D World. I can't overlap with you all the time. I don't know.
Superstars, and you got Mario 3D World.
Correct.
3D World.
Oh boy.
Okay. We're getting into the meat and potatoes of the Game Awards.
Best fighting game. For the best game designed primarily.
Well, there's a lot of games I haven't played.
For the best game designed around head-to-head combat, we have Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles.
Listen, you've watched Demon Slayer now. You should nail that.
Yeah, and I should go play that game now.
I love that the developer of the game is just the name of the game again, which is clearly a mistake.
I mean, come on.
Very funny.
Guilty Gear Strive. I love this name. Yeah. Melty Blood, Type Lumina.
Melty Blood.
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl and Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown.
There's only one winner here.
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, 100%.
Definitely, yeah. It's got SpongeBob SquarePants. How can that lose? Honestly, there's no way that loses.
Listen, I want to believe, but we all know Guilty Gear is the Arc System are the stars of fighting games at the moment. They're just dominating the scenes. I'm gonna.
And Guilty Gear Strive is one of those rare fighting games where I've seen people talk about it still to this year. Still to this like
I'd hope
this like month.
Year. Yeah.
And also like every time I see it, I'm like, I should try this game. Like it just looks fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely thinking Guilty Gear.
Put that Guilty Gear in there. Okay.
Are you also thinking Guilty Gear?
I'm thinking Guilty Gear. That's one category I can't split the votes. I'm like, I'll lose if I vote anything else. Best role playing. Hilarious. For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. Okay. We're shaking our heads.
Just off of that, Cyberpunk should not be here.
Cyberpunk should not be here. Because
it doesn't have rich character customization and progression.
But
it
not
is an
only
action
that,
game.
But not only that, there should be an argument for like games that have, you pointed out earlier, New World had a very rocky launch, lots of bugs and issues. Those games should not be considered award worthy because we're talking about the cream of the crop here. And sorry, Cyberpunk, as much as I enjoyed it on PC, the fact that it was riddled with so much drama and disaster at launch, it's like, why is it even here?
It is a game.
I don't know.
It is a game that was pulled from sale for 6 months.
Yeah, and to your point, it's like, I can understand the RPG elements, but it's so like, I don't know, it's so surface level, some of the customization and stuff. It's, I don't know.
Listen, if Flight Simulator could be nominated in the previous category because it came out on console this year, why is Disco Elysium not here? You know what I mean? That fits the actual definition of this. And what makes me more mad is that I think Cyberpunk will win this category.
No, don't say that.
I genuinely think that.
Don't say that.
Tales of Arise is a game that, yes, put like the Tales, it is almost like the Persona 5 for the Tales franchise. Like it is its breakout moment, but I still don't think enough people play it. And the same goes for Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Well, let's run through these nominees quick. So it's Cyberpunk 2077, Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, which I did not know is an RPG, Shin Megami
it's more an
Tensei 5,
action game.
and Tales of Arise. See, but the category does say for the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression. So I suppose
but
it's
then
like,
you could put fucking Call of Duty on.
I know. I'm with you there. But
that's not role. Character customization and progression is not role playing. Like,
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Who do you think? You think Cyberpunk's
I think
win
Cyberpunk. This? Yeah, I genuinely think, and I think the only reason Cyberpunk is even here is because a lot of people played it.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Rise is a fantastic game. Don't think enough people. I mean, the other four just games that I don't think people played enough. So
yeah, in my heart of hearts,
and it's going to be a fucking farce that this wins. Like. Listen, CD Projekt Red, love them.
I love
The
how
Witcher
you wrote
3, but this game...
Cyberpunk 2077, nice.
I'm keeping it. It's just going to be there. That's what it is.
I'm going to hope that Monster Hunter Rise walks away with this.
Interesting. I thought you were going to say Tale.
No, look, Tales is great, but I don't know.
I mean, it is your phone wallpaper.
It is my phone wallpaper, but Monster Hunter...
Pretty gorgeous.
It came out beginning of this year, and a lot of people will have forgotten about it, but if I think back to its heyday, I put a lot of time to that game and it reviewed very well. And I have to believe that other people are like, yeah, Monster Hunter was a good time. So let's see. Okay, next category. We have Best Action Adventure Game. For the Best Action Adventure Game, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. So we have Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I can see
it. Yeah,
it's just when I think of puzzle solving, I'm like, it's not making me scratch my head.
Oh, definitely not. But I mean, it's got more puzzle solving in there than Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd say. So, this is a strong category. Yeah, this is a really strong category because I think all of these games are. I mean, they are different levels of great that each of these games reach, but they're all pretty good. I
just don't know. Out the gates, I'm shocked. As much as I loved Resident Evil Village, I'm floored that it has as many nominees as it does.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, I enjoyed Village a lot, but the fact that it's nominated even for just straight up Game of the Year confuses me slightly.
It makes me think, if I sit and think, compare it to Resident Evil 7, I sometimes wonder maybe I prefer Resident Evil 7.
7's a better game.
But Resident Evil 7, I don't know if it was nominated for as many categories in its year. Like maybe it's just a different year. I don't know.
I feel like Resident Evil 7 gained more popularity after its release.
That's true. Whereas, you're right, which built hype for Village, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, Village, very keen for that." Okay, but this category, this is a tough one. I'm torn between I think people might go I want to say Ratchet and Clank and or Resident Evil because that's just where the sentiment seems to lie. Personally, I'd love Metroid Dread to win because that is an outstanding game. And I love Ratchet and Clank, but I don't know, it was good. It wasn't stellar to me.
Ratchet and Clank, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those games that I had a grin on my face playing it the entire time. Like, I loved every moment of it.
Yeah.
But it's not a game that, really burrowed into my memory for long after.
We both played it, platinumed it, and then moved on with our lives.
Yeah, essentially. And, it is one of those games that if I want to show off the PS5, that is, on the top 3 to boot up and be like, look at this,
I do think it might get this category though.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure. You know what? I'm gonna go left field and call it Metroid.
I'd love personally for Metroid Dread to win, but I just feel that Metroid Dread's one of those weird things where not that Nintendo games are even niche, but Metroid Dread is a niche franchise on Nintendo, which means a lot of people just look past it. It's only really the old school gamers and though
No, I
that
agree,
ilk
but
could be
I
like,
feel
ooh.
like this one grabbed a bit of the zeitgeist, and it's I'm playing the strategic player. It came out late enough in the year that it's
Yeah, it's
more in
true.
people's memory. So I am very glad to see Psychonauts 2 here because that game pretty great.
But even on that, I'm surprised, not for any reason other than I just didn't realize Psychonauts is that good, that it's popped up into a lot of
Psychonauts good.
categories.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I think
need
in
to play it.
December. Yeah, you
it's
should
one of those backlog
definitely.
games.
I think you will really enjoy it.
This is so funny because we've done best action adventure, but now we've got best action game.
Best action game
For the best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat.
Okay.
We've got Back 4 Blood.
There's two here that I wouldn't even nominate. But anyway,
Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal.
Why is Far Cry 6 here?
Because it's a Far Cry game. Pew pew.
Game is bad.
Pew pew.
Back 4 Blood. Why is that here? Game is not bad, just not good.
I could see Back 4 Blood being. I mean, it's full on shooting.
Did we have like a real dearth of like action games this year?
I don't know.
Fucking put Halo
Returnal.
Infinite multiplayer on here.
I think Halo look, technically isn't Halo Infinite's multiplayer in beta?
Yeah, and it missed the cutoff.
Yeah, so I think Halo Infinite, it's weird because next year we're going to see Halo Infinite pop up. Be like, oh yeah, that came out a year ago. Shit, this to me is also tricky though because I've played Back 4 Blood, Deathloop, and Returnal, and I can see them all as really strong action games. As much as I didn't love the ending of Deathloop, just the act of
actual
running
action
through,
in Deathloop,
a lot of fun.
Fantastic.
Back 4 Blood put a lot of time into it. It's unbalanced, but the good action. And then Returnal was just goddamn, like I snorted Returnal. It was real good.
Fucking great game. Yeah.
But I think Returnal put a lot of people off with its difficulty. So
yeah, and the whole crashing in rest mode and shit like that.
Did not have the best launch on that front. So I'm going to exclude that, and I might go with Deathloop here, just because it is a very stylish action game, which I think
I'm the same. I don't see anything else winning here, really, because that game was like big. A lot of people loved it. I mean, it even got nominated for best fucking story, which again, scratch my head.
You're like, who? What?
But yeah, that the action in that game is pretty top notch. It feels fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna fly through this category. Best VR/AR for the best game experience playable in virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform. We have. I did not know that Hitman 3 ?
Yeah, it had a VR mode. It's not great.
I Expect You to Die 2, Lone Echo 2, Resident Evil 4, and Sniper Elite VR. It's Resident Evil 4, surely. Yeah. I mean, I don't know any of these other games, but I know a lot of people just on pure nostalgia, like, Resident Evil 4 in first person, like, come on.
It's also like the only VR game that I've really seen move the needle this year. It's been a fairly quiet year for VR stuff. And that, it came out, not even a month ago, and like people were raving about it. Yeah, definitely think it's that,
Oh boy, innovation in accessibility.
Why is this presented by Chevrolet?
Oh, this is the one.
Strange sponsor.
When Jeff Keighley announces, like, this is presented by Chevrolet, I was like, why?
Wow.
So innovation in accessibility, recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. What I will say, just right out the gate, is that I've noticed a huge jump in the last year on games that do offer accessibility.
Yeah,
I think with one of the most notable examples was last year's The Last of Us 2, like a big AAA studio putting a lot of time and effort into, making the game playable by more people. And it seems like a lot more studios are putting emphasis on that, which is cool.
And it's also like these sort of options these games or these nominees have are things you would have never have thought about.
No.
Being an able person.
Yeah, but like, so for example, Far Cry 6, when you launch the game, the menu's already narrated. When you set up the game, you have a bot reading out the options to you, and you can obviously turn it off right then and there. But I was like, oh yeah, like this is right. It's in my face for anyone. Well, it's right here for anyone who needs it, which is cool.
Mm.
But yeah, as someone who does not need accessibility features, I can't tell you what I think I would choose personally, but I don't know. It's like, what is the Veil Shadow of the Crown? I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what that is.
And Forza Horizon 5, I don't know what that offers.
That had a lot. I remember reading some articles when it launched about that.
Sure.
So yeah, I do think it's between Forza and Ratchet, to be entirely honest. Yeah.
I can't remember what Ratchet offered, but yeah, this is the shot in the dark. I'm just gonna go with maybe Ratchet.
I will go Forza then.
Forza,
I just want to
go.
be contrarian.
Nice. Best community support. So, recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates / patches. So we've got.
It's funny that the nominees for this seem to be the same every year, which just shows consistency. Like, yeah.
We've got Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14 Online, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky, which I'm very pleased to see is there because what a redemption tale from that studio.
Yeah. Incredible story.
But yeah, I mean, doesn't Fortnite win this every year, or am I just assuming that Fortnite wins this every year?
I seem to recall No Man's Sky winning it one year. I don't know if it was last year, but definitely 1 year. I think they won
Community Support Game Award 2020.
I think given
what Fall Guys won last year.
Oh really? Oh,
amazing.
Okay, that actually kind of makes sense. Yeah.
And then 2019 was Destiny 2. Okay, I'm speaking rubbish then.
Okay. I think given the new expansion launch and the reverence for this series, I think Final Fantasy 14 wins this year. Yeah.
I'm feeling Fortnite or Apex Legends. Because look, I follow a lot of streamers locally who are big Apex fans, and they've just absolutely loved the content that's come out this year. I think I've seen way more positive sentiment than negative. But Fortnite's Fortnite. And yeah, the crossover stuff that keeps happening is just insane. So
yeah, that is true. And they had some bangers in terms of crossovers this year. So
I think I'm going to go Fortnite.
Fortnite. God, I misspelled it.
Best mobile game. You're making our way through these. For the best game playable on a mobile device. Shocker. Nominees are Fantasian,
which I kind of want to play. It's made by a Final Fantasy designer. It's apparently very good.
Genshin Impact, League of Legends Wild Rift, Marvel Future Revolution, and Pokemon Unite.
It's Genshin, isn't it?
Genshin, yeah. I was going to say it's either Genshin or Pokemon Unite. But Genshin, I feel being playable on every damn platform just about is a sure win in this.
Yeah, I think it's Genshin. I think Genshin Impact will win, and it probably should win as well.
Boy, here we go. You ready? Best indie for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made
every game on here except Kenna is published.
The traditional publisher system.
The traditional publisher system. Okay.
We have 12 minutes.
Fuck's sake.
Death's Door, Inscription, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, and Loop Hero.
Why is 12 minutes here? Why is Chicory not here?
I don't know. 12 this hurt my soul, seeing 12 minutes here and not Chicory. I can't wrap my
shit show,
12 minutes, not a good game. I will down this hill.
It's not even if you had to make a top 15 best indie games of the year, it doesn't even make that list.
Yeah, I was telling you before we started recording, I'm a very easygoing gamer. Like I'll find the positive in any game. But 12 minutes, that's one game that just I just did not enjoy it. The more I played it, the more I hated it. I only finished it as like a grudge, like I want to see how this ends. And then when it ended, I was like, I wish I didn't finish.
My God, I hate it so much.
It's weird because a lot of, besides 12 minutes, these are all great indie games. But like you've said, they're not, actual, I don't know, it's a weird thing of like, they are indie games, but they are published by these monoliths.
Monoliths, yes.
monoliths of publishers like Devolver Digital. I mean, and Aperna's here, but that's the 12 minutes only, so we're just gonna ignore that one. Like Death Store, great game. Inscription, I haven't played it, heard it's a great game. You Love Loop Hero, great game. Kana, great game. But if we're going for a traditional indie, again, I'm going to argue that Kana is just the fact that an animation studio managed to pull this off. Like, I'm hoping people can look at that and go, yeah, this deserves to win. It probably won't win. So I'm gonna choose something else.
I don't think it will win. Yeah, sadly, like it's a great game, but I don't think it wins this category.
No, I think it's between Death Store and Inscription. And if 12 minutes wins this, I'm gonna flip a table.
Listen, it's entirely possible.
No,
it's
please
genuinely entirely possible. I hope it's Death's Door, and I think it will be Death's Door, to be honest.
Cool. I think I'm gonna go Death's Door as well.
Death's Door.
Can't bring myself to not vote Death's Door here.
You know, a game's popular when you start seeing people going, I don't understand why this game is popular. So yeah,
there you go.
I think Death's Door is there. Death's Door is a good game, and you should play it.
Best ongoing, so awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. So this is interesting because it's got a lot of overlap with best community support. We've got Apex Legends, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact, and Call of Duty Warzone. I think it's between Apex and, although Final Fantasy 14 is also getting an expansion now and people love it.
The thing is, like, it's getting a expansion, but I feel like when it comes to a live service game, it's not really on the same level.
Yeah.
I think Fortnite wins this year, to be honest.
It's Fortnite.
Because we were talking earlier about the, all the cool crossovers it had this year. So I would probably put it there. Yeah.
Cool. This one I'm okay to split the votes. I'll go Apex on this one.
Apex, okay. I think Apex is,
I think it's got a shot.
If not a winner, probably second. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool.
Now we get to games for impact, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. And this is like a nice, cool, varied bag of entries. So we've got Before Your Eyes.
Oh, I actually bought that the other day on Steam because it was like $50 and people keep talking about it, and I'm very keen to play it. Apparently it uses your webcam. Well, they suggest that you play it like that, so every time you blink, the story progresses. So on moments where you don't want the story to progress, you're kind of like keeping your eyes open, which is a really cool mechanic, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Before Your Eyes, Boyfriend Dungeon, Chicory, A Colorful Tale, Life is Strange, True Colors, and No Longer Home. I mean, I'm biased here. I've only played Chicory here, but Chicory is quite honestly in the conversation for like my actual game of the year, and I'd love it if it won, but yeah, I don't.
It's not going to win. Life is Strange is going to win.
Life is Strange is probably going to pull this one, unfortunately.
It's just, again, it just comes down to, I think more people played it.
Yep.
Like, I also, to be fair, I've heard incredible things about True Colors, and I do want to get to it.
Oh yeah, not to knock the game at all. It's just when you've played Chicory.
Chicory is just like it. Like you said, it is a game of the year contender for me. It is not just a games for impact. So yeah. So did you say True Colors as well?
I'll say True Colors as well.
Cool.
Best performance. Oh boy, now we're getting into the big hitters here. So awarded to an individual for voiceover acting, motion, and or performance capture. Oh my god, I'm going to butcher some of these names, so I'm so sorry. So Erica Mori as Alex Chen in Life is Strange, Giancarlo Esposito as Anton Castillo in Far Cry 6, Jason Kelly as Colt Vaughn from Deathloop, Maggie Robertson as Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village, and good lord, Oziyama Akaga?
Yeah, I think that's correct, yeah.
From Deathloop. So I'll come out and say it's Giancarlo Esposito. great actor, but I don't know.
He was a marketing tool for that game. He's not a best performance.
I feel also wasted opportunity. Like his scenes were great, but
I think what he had to work with was very limited.
Yeah, but you don't actually see him that much in Far Cry 6. Like you'd think he appears every every 5 minutes or every hour, but it's not that
it's expensive
regular.
to get Giancarlo there
It's expensive,
for more than a day.
But no knock against him, but it feels weird putting him here when I know there are other great performances.
I agree.
I must say, again, Maggie Robertson, Lady Dimitrescu, same thing of she nailed that character, but the character's present for such a surprisingly small portion of the game. So I just don't see it. Have not played Life is Strange, sorry, so I cannot comment on that, but I will say that in Deathloop, I loved the banter between Colt and Juliana. So
it was very good, yeah. And I think they really sold it.
Really strong.
Yeah, especially Juliana. Juliana's range was just so, she could come off as very sarcastic, very vindictive, very playful at times. I
think
really
I'm going to vote for her.
Okay, so let me...
You're going to have to learn how to spell that.
I have to go back to it. Okay, Karga. I am not going to agree with you. And I'm going to go Maggie Robertson because I think that just the zeitgeist around Lady Dimitrescu and
that's fair.
The performance will carry the through. And to be fair, she's definitely, the character's in there for a very little time, but she fucking nails it.
No,
really,
she does.
Really
100%. No,
yeah.
You're not wrong. But you know what? With the zeitgeist, she's probably going to win. Best audio design. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. So we've got Deathloop, Forza Horizon 5, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village, and Returnal.
Listen, all of these games do a fantastic job with audio.
I've actually played all of these games.
They are all, Forza Horizon gives you this incredible soundscape, and the detail on its cars is incredible. Resident Evil's eeriness is just pinpoint perfect. Returnal is phenomenal. I think it's one of the few 3D audio games on PS5 that actually works correctly. So.
Yeah. Not only that, I think my gut tells me Returnal because it's just this foreign place where they nail the sound design. It's weird and eerie, and I don't know, in my head, I know this is a dumb argument, but Forza Horizon 5, it's the sound of cars.
It's cars, It's not that exciting, even if it's probably technically
amazing.
Incredible. Yeah.
Deathloop, as much as I love it, also it's guns shooting and you vaulting and jumping. Resident Evil is just spooky. Returnal's I'm on an alien planet. I don't know how you make up those sounds, but they made me feel like God. You know what it is? The game made you feel icky at some parts with the sound. It was I feel uncomfortable. So I'm gonna go with Returnal on that one. You're also going Returnal?
Yeah, I think Returnal wins. And I think it's also the, it makes it sound rude, but it's the pity win for Returnal because I don't think it'll win anywhere else.
Don't say that. I want Returnal to win some stuff.
Yeah, I think Returnal wins here. And I think it'll probably be recognized for that because the people that do play it, they're wow, the sound is pretty fantastic here.
Best score and music for outstanding.
Man, okay, this is another one that irritates me because to me, a good score should not be included here just because it's got licensed music.
Yeah.
So Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't understand because the music that's in there...
It's all 80s, 90s probably.
Yeah, the music that's in there that's not licensed is not that great. Not even close. So anyway.
Category for outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. We have The Artful Escape, Cyberpunk 2077, Deathloop, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Nier Replicants, version 1.22474.
This category is weird because, again, Cyberpunk I don't think had an exceptional soundtrack.
Yeah.
Nier Replicant is a decades-old game. And in a year where you had a Final Fantasy VII remake, no, wait, that wasn't this year.
It was last year. Yeah.
Sorry.
That had one last year.
I had one last year, yeah. So in a year where you have Chicory and you have Outer Wilds, Echoes of the Eye, two phenomenal original soundtracks,
Yeah,
Like, come on.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Look, I've not played The Artful Escape, but I know the game has a huge emphasis on music as part of its story. But I do think Deathloop was real strong in this category.
Yeah, I do really like the music.
That is like, to your point, it's not necessarily licensed music, but original music that made me feel like I was in, the 70s or 80s.
Even just the music that plays on the dashboard of the PS5 when you highlight the game is pretty good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Deathloop here.
Okay.
Deathloop.
I'm not.
Going? Oh no, you're going Cyberpunk. I know you.
Nope.
You're going Marvel.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Tell you now, that's gonna win.
Probably.
And it shouldn't win. It shouldn't even be in this category, in my opinion. But it's gonna win. I can guarantee it.
God damn. Okay, we're in the final four here.
I mean, just think about it. You have 2020. You have Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is like one of the most incredible,
it's like
reimaginings of a soundtrack
6 CDs
ever.
Of original music.
And then the game that wins the year after is Guardians of the Galaxy, which is like 90% 80s hits that you just fucking threw in there. Like,
which
as a composer, I'd feel kind of like offended by that, to be honest. Yeah. So,
anyway. Best art direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. So, this is The Artful Escape, Deathloop, Kano Bridge of Spirits, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
This is a strong category.
This is a difficult category, my goodness.
It's a very strong category. I mean, if anything, I haven't played The Artful Escape, but the thing that I keep seeing of it is just screenshots, and it looks fucking crazy. Like an acid trip in digital form. It looks incredible. And the same, Deathloop has a vibe to it, a visual vibe to it that is very unique. It's sort of like pulling from so many different eras. It's got that, spy party sort of 70s spy thriller vibe to it, but with futurism. It's very cool. Kane as well is just gorgeous, I think.
Visual candy.
And Psychonauts 2, I mean, you haven't played it, but the very first level is like you are in the head of a like mad scientist / dentist, and just the visual stuff they do with that is pretty insane.
Good damn.
So yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, pretty game, but
I think it's gonna win.
You think it's gonna win?
Yeah.
Shit. I don't know.
It's a tough one. It's like the most, again, like incredibly gorgeous game, but also like the most expected thing. Like I look at it, I'm like, yeah, that's Ratchet and Clank, which sounds like a knock, but like in a year where we had unique looking games, I think it is the weakest in this category, but I do think it will win.
I think it's between Deathloop and Psychonauts 2. As much as
I think Deathloop is another big one. Yeah.
As much as I'd love Kona to win, it's at the end of the day, you're going to look at the game and go, it's a pretty looking game. You might not necessarily think like, oh, this is an animation studio that put this together. I'm going to go with my gut and just say Deathloop here.
I think Deathloop could also win. Like if it's not Ratchet, I think it's Deathloop.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy, ready to get mad again.
Boy. Best narrative. Let's go. For outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game.
You know what should be here? Chicory.
Really, get out. We have Deathloop.
Fuck.
It Takes Two. Life is Strange, True Colors. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Psychonauts 2.
Listen, the only reason I stuck with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, because I think as a game, like playing it, I'm not having fun. Like stupid amounts of fun. It is acceptable at best. And the reason I stuck with it was people were like, wow, this story is surprisingly endearing and good. I am still waiting for that to happen.
Oh my God.
I have not finished it. And unless it takes a fucking U-turn by the end of the game, like, yeah, it's a cool Marvel Guardians game. Like it's got a cool, like the dynamics between the characters is fun. But it's also got a stint in it for about fucking 2-3 hours, or at least it feels like that, where Rocket is basically just Atreus from God of War, and he's just obnoxious, and I hate him, and...
My goodness. I think, in that same vein, well, no, not quite that same vein, but I find it strange that It Takes Two is here. Like,
Is it?
not that its
Interesting.
story is bad, but I don't think it's like, whoa, this is a
I
story
actually
that's
thought that
got
would
me.
be your guess for the winner.
I don't know. Like, I think of it, it is a story about divorce, and the dialogue is fun. But I don't think the narrative is the strong point of that game. Like, cooperative gameplay, visual style, all of that stuff, great. But the narrative, I'm like, I don't know. I'm still busy with it though, so I can't really say. Maybe by the end, I go, oh wow, cool, I get this. Oh my god, Deathloop, shit. Deathloop was fantastic until you reach the end, and then it wasn't.
Yeah,
is,
and to be entirely honest, the appeal of the game was never really the story. I was more interested in the sort of setting and the overall mystery of Black Reef, which never gets addressed.
Resolved. Exactly.
Yeah.
It throws all these little tidbits of like, ooh, how many years have you actually been here? What's happening outside in the real world? And spoiler, you'd never actually find out unless.
And I think that the quote unquote twist is quite predictable.
Yeah.
Like when it happened, I wasn't like,
no,
whoa, holy shit. I never I kind of
yeah
thought that that's where it was going. And then, like you said, the way that is like quote unquote resolved, because it has multiple endings is just poor. I think
both
the
endings
ending
suck.
of the game is very, very weak. Yeah.
Yeah, on the narrative.
Like the act of doing the final loop is so much fun. But then the payoff is very bad, I think. So yeah, I didn't I could see it still winning, but I don't think it should even be in this category.
I don't know if it'll win. I don't know. I'm quite torn in this category, and I don't really know Psychonauts too. So
I think Life is Strange wins this, and I think it probably deserves to win this. So yeah, that's going to be my guess.
I'm going to throw Marvel's Guardians here just because of what you said. People, because like to your point, a lot of people do say like, yeah, the gameplay is fine, but the story is fantastic, and like I've never played it. I
actually think it probably will win. Yeah,
my goodness,
it is the one people play it, and the one that people are like, you should play this because the story is fascinating.
It's so good. Okay, second last category, best game direction, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. We have Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
This is Deathloop. Like, not even a question. Yeah. I think it should win this category, and it probably will, in my view. Like, it is... I haven't played a game like it. A murder puzzle box in a way that the loop works there. I think Returnal as a roguelite is fairly standard in the way it works. I think its shooting and its challenge are very unique, and I think the way it tells its story is quite unique. But like, when you put it up against a Deathloop, Deathloop feels more novel, even though it's kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I will say though that Deathloop and Returnal still do not come even close to expert design that Hades did last year.
Oh yeah,
if you're talking 100%. About loop games. So
I agree with all your points, but I'm gonna go with It Takes Two, because that to me is like a exclusive co-op game where everything is built around two people playing together. Just the level of puzzle solving and everything and the way it comes together, I find like incredible. And the fact that in 2021, like I know they had a way out a few years ago, but in 2021, when you still want people to play like, quotes and quotes, a couch co-op game, like one thing I found interesting, if you're wondering where I'm coming from, is that when I started playing this with Lenska, I thought maybe I should get her a Game Pass subscription so we can both play. I play on my PC, she plays on her laptop. But I read up on it, and even if you're playing online, it is still split screen. At no point do you have your own perspective. It always a split screen when the game wants you to have split screen. So I just thought that was interesting. So I'm going to go with that. Best game direction, It Takes Two.
Cool.
My God. Okay, here we go. We're on the
final category.
On the final shred. Oh my God, I want to go back. I want to open this.
So just quickly, I don't understand how, if we go to the last few categories, best game direction, best narrative, best art direction. like all of those are all the sort of markers of like a game of the year. There is one game in Game of the Year that didn't appear in any of those, yet it's in Game of the Year. Metroid Dread. Why is it here? Like, it doesn't appear in game direction, doesn't appear in art design, it doesn't appear outside of its genre.
Look,
and even then, it doesn't seem like the winner there.
I wouldn't put it under best narrative, but under best game direction, best art direction, maybe. Because
to me, you kind of need to hit like one of those three to even be a qualifier here.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I don't know.
Listen, I don't know.
I hear you.
A Forza Horizon 5 should be here over Metroid.
I hear you.
Or over Resident Evil.
Yeah, I hear you. But Metroid Dread, great game. Like I would be.
No, it's good. No,
for sure. But I would be blown away if I don't think it's going to win. Sad to say, but I would be thrilled if it won because this game is really, really like a masterclass of just level design. Throw everything out of the game. The level design it's astounding. Like the fact it's. I think when we reviewed it a few months ago, I was telling you it reminds me a lot of From games in a lot of ways where. Like if you're playing a Bloodborne, you'll play a bit and you'll eventually open the door and go, oh my God, like I've folded back to this starting area or whatever. And Metroid Dread does that a lot, except, Bloodborne doesn't have puzzle elements. Metroid Dread will throw you back into an area, like make you circle around, and it's exactly where you need to be with the ability you've just unlocked or something. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. How did they fit all of this together? It's unreal.
But you see, then why isn't it not, I'm not saying it doesn't deserve to be.
Oh, no.
But why is it not in game direction then?
Yeah.
Why is it not there over Rift Apart? Because Rift Apart, is a great game, but it's not it's not something that pushes forward game direction in my view.
I mean, this category, look, I think all these games are strong. There's no doubt about it. But
I don't think there's a weak game here.
To your point, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, we said earlier, I loved the game, but I'm like, is it a game of the year? Resident Evil Village, loved the game, but shit, I will be absolutely floored if this wins game of the year because it's a good game, but it's not a game of the year in my eyes.
I mean, when we do our game of the year predictions, I think our list will top 5 and top 6 is going to be very different. Yeah. I actually think out of the 6 here, probably only one makes my top 5. And it's probably the one I think wins here.
Haven't. Well, the one you think wins here. God, are you going to say Deathloop?
Yep.
I can't believe it.
I do not see it not winning this. I just don't. And, it would probably be in my top 5 of the year, despite its poor ending. I just thought that game was super interesting and to me, the best feeling arcane game ever. And I just don't see anything in this category beating it. Really.
I don't know. I'm kind of with you, but I'm also on the fence of I could see, for example, a Ratchet. Look, I don't think Resident Evil Village will win.
I could see Ratchet beating it just because
Ratchet
of its
and Clank, I think, could be just one of those things where it's a mix of nostalgia for this beloved franchise, and it's got this modern game, which is really good. It looks great. It's
it's a good game. It's not a game of the year.
No, but look, I'd love It Takes Two and Metroid Dread to win because it's like the underdogs you don't expect to be here.
You know what? I could see It Takes Two coming in with a clutch one.
Could win, maybe. Definitely not Metroid Dread though.
I don't think Metroid would win it, but I could see It Takes Two coming in clutch.
I'm going to go with It Takes Two on this.
Okay.
I'm probably
laugh if it's Resident Evil.
Yes.
But you see what I mean? If you look at our predictions, best game direction, I said Deathloop, you said It Takes Two, and those ended up being our game of the year.
Our game of the year. How funny.
So, and that's why I understand why they're there. If you look at best art direction, you said Deathloop. Best music and score, you said Deathloop. It belongs here. You know what I mean? It Takes Two for the exact same reason. So, I don't know why some of these others are here. It's
my goodness,
fucking dumb to me.
Cool. Well, there's your predictions. I hope you guys were making your own predictions while you listened.
Can't wait to we'll tally up the scores.
We'll maybe do just a quick tally next week during our episode. We'll just do a quick little recap. But sure, we're not done yet. I think we're gonna miss gaming news because we've been going for an hour and 15.
We've been going for a while. I did collect some gaming news, but I think we'll just skip over here. Here are the 30-second highlights.
Yeah.
PlayStation is planning its own Game Pass competitor subscription service called, codename Spartacus. It sounds a bit weird. It's like a 3-tier thing, and it still seems like Sony isn't quite keen on the actual real draw of Game Pass, which is getting games on day one from Microsoft.
Yep.
So yeah, not sure about that. There's apparently, a new Bioshock is in development. We know this, but its setting and time period may have been detailed. If I recall correctly, the setting could potentially be Antarctica, which is very interesting to me.
That is awesome, because I think you and I have had conversations of like, cool, Bioshock's done underwater in the sky. Where do they go to next? It's like
now land. They go to just cold.
But Antarctica is like
coldness.
Yeah, I would not have expected that.
That's I think it's a pretty interesting, potentially interesting setting. Battlefield franchise undergoes a major shakeup. So in the wake of 2042 being doo-doo water, they have assigned Vince Zampella, who you might recall as the co-founder of Respawn and creator of Titanfall, and previous Call of Duty veteran. They have kind of assigned him as the lead for the Battlefield franchise et al. Going forward. And they seem to be using 2042 as a platform to create what they call the Battlefield universe. So they, sort of like Halo Infinite, they want this to be an evolving thing over time. So good luck to them.
My goodness.
Yeah. In the most ridiculous news of the week, Take-Two is going after all sorts of things that kind of what they think infringe on their patented name. And one of those is, coincidentally, It Takes Two, the game by Joseph Fares.
Oh my God.
And very sadly, Joseph Fares says he just relinquished the rights to that name because I don't think they have the money to battle Take-Two on that. So your game of the year might be Untitled Game by Joseph Fares.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what happens in that case? Do they rename it?
I don't think they rename it. They just don't own the name. The name goes unregistered. Yeah.
Dumb. That is like the most petty thing ever. It's one game, which I look, haven't finished the game. I don't think it's going to be It Takes Two.
Yeah.
It just let it be. Come on, man. That's
just absolute nonsense.
That is so
I don't know IP law, but that just seems an overreach on a new level.
At no point is anyone going It Takes Two and confusing it with Grand Theft Auto. Something. Come on, man. Anyways,
PS Plus games got announced this week, and there's been a bit of confusion over one of them. So PS Plus, let me just get the list quickly. It has Godfall Challenger Edition. That's the asterisk we'll come back to. Lego DC Supervillains and Mortal Shell, which I actually
really want to play.
Yeah, kind of want to play that. So Godfall Challenger Edition, a lot of people assumed, oh cool, we're getting Godfall. But Godfall Challenger Edition is a version of the game which lets players try 3 in-game modes. So it's almost like a sampling of the game.
I read that it basically gives you max level, max gear, and you basically doing for all, not raids, but you're doing end game content. But
that's super weird.
It's weird, yeah. If you just throw people into the end, oh hey, here's what the final game looks like.
To me, the biggest criticism of the game was the end game is non-existent. It's you expecting people to play the end game and then go buy the actual game to play through the story. I don't see the play here with that. I
don't know.
I don't get it. Anyway, and the last bit of news that interests probably just me. Moss Book 2, so essentially the sequel to Moss, is coming out on PlayStation VR next spring. Now, this is fascinating because does that mean Sony plans to have PSVR 2 out by next spring?
Yeah.
Because I don't see Moss 2 coming out for original PSVR next spring. So, listen, Moss is one of those VR games, which I'm like, if you get a VR headset, because it's on Oculus as well, you should play it. It's really cute. It's a third person / first person, because you're essentially a first person entity in a third person world, like an action adventure, and it's very charming and very cool. I liked it a lot. So yeah,
my goodness,
that's your Blitz gaming news.
The quickest gaming news in the West.
You're not going to break that out into YouTube, I don't think.
No.
We'll
that was
just
just
skip this week.
Yeah, it's just a quick
skip
recap.
a Rooney this week. Yeah.
Questions.
Should we get to gaming questions? If you want to send us your gaming questions, you can email us checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on all of our social channels. Checkpoint Chat on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. All of the good places.
All of the places.
What is up this week?
We have more questions from Jared Brabra. At Jared Brabra. It says, what gaming memories of past do you sometimes recount or just pops into your mind? I came across the host of the gaming show, The Verge, on Twitter, Pippa Shabalala.
Oh, Pippa, yeah.
That I used to watch while in primary school on Channel Go. Major throwback. This is over two tweets. Another back, first reading about Spore when it was pre-released in an issue of NAG, only to see what it was like to actually play. I think it's just a thing of like what sort of random.
So not specifically
gaming
a gaming memory, just like a
no.
gaming in terms of
what gaming
culture.
Memories of past do you sometimes recount or just pops into your mind? I have a modern one, which I think you'll probably agree with, but I often ponder back onto our little E3 trip where we got to see God of War revealed, and that is still probably one of my favorite highlights of just my journey in the gaming space. And I can pull up that clip on YouTube now, and I'll still get goosebumps every time.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just such a vivid memory I have. And I always say, like, I remember good friend Garth sitting, I don't know if he was next to me on the same row, but I could just remember him going like, like just so excited. That was great.
It's, I think I mentioned it, but I watched the Raising Kratos, the like behind the scenes developer a documentary on that, and they have that moment in there.
Yeah.
And still, like you said, goosebumps. It's one of those moments I'll never forget. Just the noise in that arena. And I mean, that arena was filled with primarily games critics and games influencers and stuff like that. But the sheer like collective, like, oh my God, like what a reveal type of thing. Like,
I think, that's actually a great point, because God of War had not been seen since God of War 3, which came out like sort of, I'd say, towards the end of the PS3's life cycle. Maybe not. No, it wasn't. It was maybe halfway through the PS3. And then there was Ascension that came out after. I don't know. God of War had a weird library of games. But the fact that God of War was thought to be like, it's done. We haven't seen it for a long time. And then it just came back as like a complete reinvention. And like
a surprise as well. I don't remember it being leaked before then.
No, it was a complete surprise. And little did we know that, this was a proper mature God of War game. Like, it went on to be Game of the Year, and it's since won one best game of all time awards.
I mean, I also distinctly remember coming back, because on that trip it was Yumi, Garth and Dave.
Yeah.
And I distinctly remember coming back and going, wow, I can't believe they're rebooting God of War, but like they keeping, the connection with Kratos' tattoo.
Yeah.
And you're like, that is Kratos. And I was like, no, it's not. I was like, they're just styling him like him, so and like Garth was like, no, it is.
It is, yeah.
I was like, what? Yeah, but it was just such a weird thing. And
I could understand your perspective though, because you would think like the Kratos we knew is like, it's that saga's done. It's just like it's a reboot, it's a new character and a new thing, but I'm glad they kept the link. What a game. They did it so well. So I often think
that
of
moment is burned into my memory. Yeah.
Don't know. You got any others?
Yeah, I back in the day, I attended BT Games used to run these midnight launches every now and then for games. But the one that I always keep coming back to, especially now, given what's just released, they had a Halo 3 launch where they collected like a bunch of players, and coincidentally one of the best players in South Africa was at the branch I was at.
Oh, nice.
And he went first, and me, this plucky like teenager, not really knowing who he was, they were like, "Oh, who wants to go up against him?" And no one wanted to, and I was like, "I'll go."
You're like, "I'm good at Halo."
I got fucking smashed like 25-1. It was bad. It was bad. But I remember that because it was just such a fun. It was like such a fun evening of just like this round robin Halo 1-on-1s, and I just had a great time playing that. Especially, like that game sits in my memory a lot because it was like one of the first like big collector's editions I got for a game. I got that helmet that I thought you could wear. Coincidentally, you cannot wear it. So stuff like that. Yeah, I fondly remember Halo 3 and its launch. Like all the little anecdotes around there were really cool. And actually, just I worked at a BT Games during my high school years, and I feel like that's where I built a lot of like my almost encyclopedic knowledge of certain games and stuff, because I would just sit there and just, you would see so many game titles, people buying them. We often used to pop in NAG magazine discs into the we had a PC on display there, and NAG magazine used to ship with a bunch of trailers. So for a month I would just see the same trailers all the time. And that was kind of cool.
Have unusually high levels of hype because you just watch the same trailer.
I always remember seeing the Unreal Tournament reboot trailer and always thinking it was like a sequel to Gears of War because they just made all the characters look like Gears of War characters. So
my goodness.
So yeah, good times.
That's great. I've got way too many gaming memories to recount. But I'll share another one from. Sorry, mine are all coming from gaming trips because I do often think of this because this one's funny though. So first time I went to Gamescom. Okay, so I'm an intern for Lazy Gamer.
This is the trip I wasn't with you there.
You didn't come on this one. So it was me, Jeff, and Zoe, and we're doing the gauntlet of the press conferences. Day one, we've got the last one, which is PlayStation. And I don't know why this happened or how it happened, but it's a thing of like. They're letting people into the auditorium, and Jeff and Zoe had me down as like their camera person, the cameraman.
I know the story. Yes.
So at the counter, like, okay, so you can step through this way. You going up to the platform.
You're special.
I'm like, okay, cool. So Jeff and Zoe leave me, and I go ahead, and I end up on this platform where there are like actual TV crews, actual camera people with like
cameras the size of people's bodies,
proper tripods with like these huge cameras on them because they're going to record the show, for their respective publications.
They're probably live streaming it.
And then I'm like, I'm here now. I don't have a seat to sit. I guess I better set up. So I pull out my tripod and like my little DSLR, and I just remember like screwing it in, pointing it at the stage, and like turning to the guy next to me, going like, "Hey."
Did he say anything?
No,
back?
I think like people just greeted, but I'm sure a lot of them were like, "What the hell is this guy doing?"
This guy's lost.
And
he
just
be
like
here.
Baby intern, like I don't want to be here, but I can't like not be.
Yeah.
But fun fact.
You can't just leave. Like, where do you go? Like,
no, exactly.
Oh
but
God.
Fun fact of that press conference. That is where I saw Ori and the Blind Forest revealed, and I watched
I thought
that.
You said it was a PlayStation conference.
Oh wait, sorry. No, wait. It might have been an Xbox show.
Yeah, because PlayStation didn't usually do Gamescom.
Yeah, sorry, it was an Xbox show. I don't know why I thought it was PlayStation. Because I saw Ori there, and I watched it and I was like, I need to play this game.
And Matty knew,
and I just knew. I just knew.
Love at first wisp.
Love at first wisp. Yeah, but thank you for that question. That was good times. We have a question from Megs who says, "Would you play remasters or remakes of Resident Evil 4 or Dino Crisis?"
Well, they are remaking Resident Evil 4.
I have not played Dino Crisis. Shocker.
Oh, really?
Which is weird because it's a sort of game I think I would enjoy. And Yeah, it's weird that franchise hasn't been brought back because, I mean, Resident Evil's getting all this love, and I firmly believe Dino Crisis
I don't think it
would
has
get...
the same reverence.
No, maybe not the same reverence, but I think a lot of people would be very keen for, imagine a Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake, like an over-the-shoulder...
Of Dino Crisis.
But
Yeah,
of
I'd play
Dino
that.
Crisis.
Yeah.
Like, I would play that. So I think that'd be very cool.
I mean, at the end of the day, Dino Crisis is Resident Evil, but dinosaurs instead of the zombies. And when I remember playing it on PS1, it was kind of like that. Like, it was just like fucking velociraptors stalking you and jumping out of windows and shit that. So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, they are remaking that. I don't think they've formally announced it, but there's enough reports to suggest that the next remake project from Capcom is Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
And that it was originally meant to come out in 2022, but might be pushed to 2023 if I'm not mistaken. So,
my goodness,
that is coming, and I will 100% play that.
Yeah, me too.
I think that'll be cool.
I mean, and if they were to ever relook at Dino Crisis, I would say a remake. It would be more viable than a remaster because I do not know how the original game holds up. I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's kind of painful like the original Resident Evils are today with, tank controls, fixed camera. Look, which it's not a bad thing. I mean, the Resident Evil 1 remake did it and it did it well, but when you've got Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake doing proper over-the-shoulder stuff, like, give me that with dinosaurs, I'd be there.
Yeah, I'd play that. And I think because like people remember it very differently to like RE1 and RE2, you could do different things with Dino Crisis in a way that, if you did that, I mean, even RE2 took liberties and some people got real pissed with that.
Yeah.
Or more so with 3, actually.
Yeah.
But with Dino Crisis, I think if you just keep the original vibe and make something cool with that, like, that would be better than a beat-for-beat remake. You know, for a game that I think very few people remember beat-for-beat anyway.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Cool. Then we have some quick-fire questions from Chiloza on Instagram, who says... who asks, who will finish 4th in the Premier League?
4th?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we know the top 3 is going to be some amalgamation of Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool because they are so far ahead of everyone already.
Exactly.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Arsenal.
My gut was telling me Arsenal, but how's Man United faring these days? Are they doing bad?
So, not great, but they did beat Arsenal on Thursday in a very surprising match. But I think Arsenal's just gained this momentum, and I think they've just got a much stronger base that they will not have as many shocking losses. Tottenham is just not great at the moment, and I think Man United's going to get worse till they get better.
Sure.
So,
didn't they lose a coach as well?
Yeah, they just lost their coach, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So they've got a new coach until the end of the year.
The football world is
Another prediction, actually, and I think actually this is probably an easier guess than Arsenal, is actually West Ham. They're just doing so well this season.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Nice. If you could be a pizza topping, what would you be? Sandy Yarn Evo in my heart. I hate Evos.
Wow. Rude. Rude, but fair.
So rude. What pizza topping would you be?
Wait, Cello hates Avos?
Apparently.
He's from Cape Town. He should love that shit. He should put that shit on everything.
Also learned last night that he hates boiled eggs.
Oh my God. He's missing out on the like typical Cape Townian breakfast.
If I'm not wrong, I think he also hates egg on steak. And I'm like, why? It's the Portuguese way.
I bet he hates eggs on burgers too. Like a fucking monster. Actually, the other day I made homemade burgers, put an egg on that bad boy, and Shawnee's like, I don't think I've ever had an egg on a burger. And I'm just like, well, now we are changing that.
And did she have one?
She did the traditional like squeeze it, and then the yolk runs out the sides, and she enjoyed it. It was delicious.
Nice. So yeah, what pizza topping are you? Are you an egg? Egg on pizza. Let's go.
No, I've seen that. I've seen that.
Oh no.
I probably will go for olives because I'm salty.
Wow. I mean, my go-to is always chicken and avo. But
so wait, are you the chicken or the avo? You can only be one topping.
Exactly. This is a difficult thing. I think I'll be.
You can't be chicken because then you're basically saying that you taste like everything. You are just the most milky toast.
I
bland.
can't be ever though, because then Chilla will hate me.
He hates you anyway. It's okay.
He does. I'll be Avo. I'll take
Avo.
it.
You're healthy.
Avo.
You're full of good fats.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a good core.
That's it. And then last question.
And you're green on the inside.
I'm green on the inside.
Green with jealousy of Cello's Trackmania skills.
Wow. On an average day, how many pigeons do you think you could carry?
God, I forgot about this question. I don't know.
Not just on any day, on an average day.
No, but okay, pigeons? So what does this mean? Like, do I have to still perform my job while holding these pigeons?
I'm just let's just pretend you have to walk down the road with pigeons. How many?
Okay.
You need to, you've moved into a new place, okay?
Okay.
And you've brought your beloved pigeons with you, okay?
Okay.
Now you need to carry them up to your apartments from the car. How many can you carry per trip?
Okay. That's a more defined thing, because if I had to take pigeons to work, I'd be holding maybe like one at a time.
And we're going to assume that they're not going to fly away. They're just passive, chilling, cooing away.
We're gonna assume they're gonna shit on you.
They're gonna shit. That's fine. Doesn't matter how many can you hold. I mean, pigeons.
I don't know. It starts becoming a lubrication issue then. Like it starts.
No.
If you are holding like 100 pigeons and they all decide to take a shit on you, that becomes a problem.
My goodness. I think you could carry a fair load though. I mean,
pigeons are big, eh?
They're
Those
big,
rock pigeons,
they're
they're
heavy.
fucking huge.
You could probably stack at least a dozen, I'd say. It's the max.
Could I get them to stand so I could get like some to stand on my shoulders and my head?
That's actually a good point.
Walking.
Okay, I take that back. If you get a whole row, like couple on your shoulders, couple on your head.
Probably get like two or three per shoulder.
So okay, I was thinking about this all wrong.
If you stand like this.
I was thinking of actually holding them like as a pile of pigeons. But you're right. If you stretch your arms out and you have them all like standing from tip to head, on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
You could get, I mean, let's do a rough count here. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, I'd say like 6
Probably
per arm.
Probably like 5 or 6, per
6
arm.
per arm, and then like at least 2 on your head if they stand snugly. So
Gotta
we're going to go
for shit on your head, but
14. Is that a baker's dozen? What's a baker's dozen?
Baker's dozen's 13.
Damn it, I was close.
So you keep one.
A baker's dozen. Is it 13? Damn it.
I think
it is 13. Why
13.
do I think it was 14? Yeah. Okay, we can keep a baker's dozen of pigeons. We can carry a baker's dozen.
Because I guess if you've got your arms outstretched, you can't really do much else. I mean, you could try balance 2 on each of your feet, but that doesn't really work. I don't think. How do you walk?
Yeah.
So I've got a hack for this. What if I take my laundry basket and then just shove them in there? Because I can carry the laundry basket. So I could do like a real, I could probably fit like 3 horizontally and then like stack maybe like 8 rows of that. So I could carry like 24 pigeons at a time. I'm not too sure if that's safe for the pigeons and I don't want to kill them.
Probably not.
But I'm pretty sure that bottom row is going to die. Maybe not the most humane thing to do, but at the end of the day, could carry 24 pigeons. Also, what if, we haven't thought of this, what if the pigeons aren't alive? What if we're just really into taxidermy and they're all dead?
My goodness.
I could get a fucking garbage bag and I could carry 50 of those suckers up at once because it doesn't matter.
This is true. You win.
Gotta keep these questions vague. Yeah, just like, wait, that's not Eddie Murphy.
100% it's Eddie Murphy.
No, it's not.
I'll take this to my grave. Eddie Murphy meme.
It is not Eddie Murphy.
100%.
It's the same way as all those people think that, that thinking meme with the lady, everyone thinks it's Julia Roberts. Not Julia Roberts.
Hold up. Images for Eddie Murphy meme. Okay, it's a bit skew on your screen, but look.
Yeah, but it's not Eddie Murphy.
Bro, this is Eddie Murphy.
Are you fucking crazy?
100% this is Eddie Murphy. This is a young Eddie Murphy.
Oh my God. I want to cry. I want to scream inside.
100% it's Eddie Murphy. I Googled Eddie Murphy meme. It's the first thing that pops up.
That doesn't mean shit. Oh my God. Go to Know Your Meme and let's see if it's actually Eddie Murphy.
Know Your Meme. Thinking. No, not thinking. Know your meme thinking. Over.
Yeah.
No, it's. No, is it? Which one is it? No, it's not this one.
Thinking face emoji. No, it's definitely not that one.
Meme, Eddie Murphy.
Oh my God. It'll probably be like, people think this is Eddie Murphy and they're idiots.
What? What's the origin of the black dude with the finger
on his head?
In the caption? If you don't do well. Don't really know who the guy is. Roll safe, blah, blah, blah. It's not him.
Told
Coyote Iwumi grinning.
There's someone on this Reddit you're looking at saying, is it bad that I thought it was Eddie Murphy? And the answer is maybe.
You're right. I thought it was Eddie Murphy. Holy shit. I take it back. You win.
Matthew.
My goodness.
Categorized racist right here.
I'm not the only one, though. Everyone's like, it's the Eddie Murphy meme.
Nope.
Okay, but then
Super not Eddie Murphy.
Then who the heck is this guy?
I don't know. It seems to come from a BBC Three YouTube channel.
My goodness.
In which the Simpson. What? Anyway, it's not Eddie Murphy.
Wow.
We've resolved this.
I can't
this
believe
conundrum.
I
shattered your worldview.
Eddie Murphy. Because you can't blame me. The resemblance is there, though. It's like a young Eddie Murphy.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. It's like what's that one where it's like the lumberjack like looking at you and he does that little nod.
Exactly.
And everyone thinks it's Zach Galifianakis and it's like no, it's Robert
not.
Redford.
I'm with this guy though. Yeah. On Reddit says I'm not entirely convinced it isn't Eddie Murphy.
I mean, if you can't find the guy's actual name,
is Eddie. Okay, there you go.
Schrodinger's Eddie.
My goodness. Well, there you go. We solved the.
Do we have a Schrodinger's question? Like a new question?
We're done with questions.
Okay, we're done. If you want to send us questions or your mistaken meme identities, you can email us, checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on all of our social channels at Checkpoint Chat on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook.
All of the places. That's
all of the places. If you're here, then you've listened to the whole of episode 170. And for that, we thank you. You're cool.
100 and now plus one.
If you have us on your Spotify Wrapped, if you listen to us on Spotify, firstly, thank you. Also, if you have us on your Wrapped, thank you even more. Share that with us. That's pretty dope. But as always, wherever you listen, it doesn't matter. We appreciate you. You're great.
It's actual facts.
Actual facts.
If you're watching on YouTube, leave us a like or dislike in a comment.
Then only Matty likes you, you know.
Then only I like you. Because I look at the metrics, I go, X amount of people like this episode. Makes me feel good in my soul.
X amount of people downvote. Oh, no, wait, there's no downvotes now.
No more down. There is. I think we can see, but it won't be public facing.
Well, you can still,
do stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it. Episode 170.
170.
I think, just quick admin, I think next week we'll probably do a normal episode, but then the week after will be our game of the year episode. And then we'll have our little end of year break where we close these doors and we go play games and recharge for next year.
Sounds like a vibe. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye.